Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're going to talk about reduction and pronunciation of casual English. So the way I might talk to my sister or a close friend. It frequently does not sound the same as the way I might talk to a student. So we'll talk about how pronunciation changes in formal to informal situations and these casual social situations, kind of like movie pronunciation. All right, if you guys have any questions or comments on today's class, let me know on Facebook. You can also request material there, and I put my Facebook name in the chat box for you guys. Daniel, welcome to class.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Daniel? It's been a while. What's been going on?
Hi, I'm doing very well. My computer is very slowly. Slow.
Ah, what a bummer.
Yes,
What kind of
I need
computer
a
do you
new
have?
laptop. Just laptop, yes, laptop.
Mm. Is it
All,
Windows 7
all
or Windows
laptop. Windows 7.
See, Windows 7 computers are not very new, but I prefer Windows 7 to Windows 8. Have you used Windows 8 before, Daniel?
I usually use Windows XP.
Windows XP?
Yes,
I don't
in
even
my
know what
old
that
PC. Yeah,
is.
the previews to Windows.
Before Windows
Windows.
7?
Yes, yes.
And which do you like better?
I I I I use I'm used to Windows 7.
All right. Good to know. Thanks, Daniel. Let me welcome a couple other
You're welcome.
students. Arena, welcome to class.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Arena, tell us about your computer preferences. Are you a Mac person, Windows 8,
Oh,
Windows 7, XP?
I'm definitely Mac person.
Ooh.
Yes, absolutely.
There's like a war between Mac people and Windows people.
I know.
All right. So do you have a Mac? Do you use a Mac?
Yes. Yes, all the time.
All the people I know who have a Mac, they love the Macs. So maybe that's the trick to getting a computer you love.
I think so. I just absolutely love it. I can't use a regular PC anymore.
Yeah, Daniel put a comment in the chat box that they're too expensive. And I agree, but it's like, it's one of those things where you always have to compare because if you use,
Yes.
if your computers only live for 3 or 4 years and you're buying every decade you're buying, say, 3 computers, if a Mac lasted 10 years, then it might be worth the investment. I've been
Yes, honestly,
struggling
it's
with this
so much
decision as
better.
well. All right, our Mac proponent. I'm a fanboy Microsoft. Wow, strong feelings, Daniel. How about Adrian? What do you think about this Mac versus Microsoft?
Um, I think the Mac is the best, but it's too expensive. Yeah, is I think the Mac have a style or mythic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a mythic for Steve Jobs and etc. etc.
Have you ever owned a Mac?
No, I have a HP.
Got it. So you like Macs, but you've never owned one. You use an HP.
Yeah.
All right. How about Jabo? What do you think about Microsoft versus Mac?
Well, actually, I don't buy iMac. before. Yeah, I didn't buy iMac before, so I don't know how to compare. To kind of,
Interesting. So what do you use?
I bought the Taiwan brand computer. Taiwan is made from
Oh,
Taiwan. Yeah.
all right. So you have like a totally outside all of these things. Is that right?
Uh, yeah. So I never use
Interesting.
about iMac or Microsoft. But
It's even more
Microsoft is a
complicated.
software company, right? Software company. Microsoft software company.
Yeah, definitely. All
But
right.
Microsoft doesn't sell computer, right?
Hmm?
The Microsoft have computer, right?
Yeah. I use a Toshiba, but it's like a Microsoft programming.
Oh, Microsoft programming. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Shell, welcome to class.
Thank you. Hello.
Good to have you with us, Shell. Tell us which you prefer, Microsoft or Mac or anything else.
Mac has been my dream PC, so I go for Mac, although I haven't had Mac before.
Ah, so you're a fan of Mac, but you've never owned one yourself.
Yes. I would love to have one soon.
Me too. I'm with you on that, Shell.
Alright.
Trin, what kind of computer do you use to connect? Trin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What kind of computer do you use to connect? Is it a laptop?
No, it's not laptop. It's a Windows XP.
A Windows XP, excellent. So you're like Daniel, a fan of the XP. Awesome. Thanks, Trin.
You're welcome.
Yasine, welcome to class.
Hello.
How are you, Yasine? Is this your first time in one of my classes?
Yes, it's my first time.
It's good to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Excellent. And what kind of computer do you use to connect?
It's my computer laptop.
A laptop. Is it any particular? Is it a Mac? Is it Microsoft? Is it something else?
No, sorry.
What kind of computer is it? Is it any brand I would know?
I can't understand you because I'm French speaking. I can't speak English very well, but sorry. Sorry.
What happened right now?
Sorry. Sorry. I don't understand you. Could you repeat, please?
I think maybe the teacher is disconnected.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. Daniel, do you know what happened right now?
Sorry?
Daniel, are you there?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened right now?
I can't understand you. Sorry.
I mean, what happened right now?
What happened?
Maybe it's Michaela is gone. Has gone, has gone. Okay,
She's come back.
yes.
Okay, I think I'm back. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sorry, weird connection stuff, I guess. Yassine, did you finish telling us about what kind of computer you use? Is it Windows 8, Windows 7, XP, Mac?
Mac of my computer.
Or your programming?
Ah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you use Windows?
Yeah, I use it.
Excellent. Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows XP?
8. No, 8.
8. I hate Windows 8.
Why?
It's terrible. It's terrible. I have Windows 8 right now, and it is my least favorite ever because
It's good, but I use it. I was used 7, Windows 7, but now I use 8.
and you like it?
Huh? Sorry?
You like Windows 8?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because uh, sorry, I'm very speaking, but I don't speak English very well.
All right. Well, it's enough to know that you enjoy Windows 8. Thanks for sharing, Yassine. And
Thank you.
Uni, welcome to class. Tell us your opinion on computers and programming, which you like better.
Hello, nice to see you again, Michelle. And I'm definitely love to use the Apple products. So I usually use Mac Air with that. Hello. Hello. Hello, anybody here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
we are here.
the teacher is disconnected again.
Yes.
The teacher is asking.
I think she's back.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know why that keeps happening. All right, Uni, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Finally, finally. Sorry about that. So tell me your opinions on the Mac versus Windows and everything else.
I think the Mac is more easier to use when people once use it, once enter how to access and use through this. So it's really convenient and easy to use that. And because my job is like designer, so it's really better to use the program with the Mac. So it's really good. And I'm also use a window for both in my Mac computer. So it is really good to use that. I think so.
They use Windows on your Mac computer?
Yes, it's possible.
I did not know
Yes.
that.
Yes, Mac assists to install the Windows separately. So if I wanted to use that, I can install it with the assist programs.
Excellent. That's pretty cool. So you're
Yeah.
like a both person. You get Windows and Mac.
Yes.
I'm jealous. All right, and the last person I want to welcome to class, I don't know how to say your name because it's in characters I don't recognize, but your picture says Walking with God. Walking with God, are you there? Can everyone else hear me? Is my microphone out again?
No, I can hear you.
I was like, no, it's happening again. Okay. All right. Well, Walking with God. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name? Or let me know in the chat box if you're having any audio difficulty. In the meantime, I put the notes for class in the chat box so you guys can open up a copy for yourself there or share along with my screen. We're finally going to get back to the notes. Although I will say I hate Windows 8 because it is always causing problems for me and nothing is in the right location. And every time I try to use my mouse, all of a sudden it's like Skype. Or I don't know, if you guys have used Windows 8, I think you will realize or know what I'm talking about. You try to move your mouse a little bit and it opens a program that you didn't want at all. And that's annoying. Anyways, okay. So I'm going to screen share the notes for us and we'll get started talking about reduction, starting with a joke, which I hope you guys will find funny. Okay, so I've got a really good example of reduction and it comes in a joke. Maybe you guys have heard it before. It's a knock-knock joke. Does everyone know what a knock-knock joke is?
No.
No?
No.
All right. It's a joke where I pretend to be knocking on your door. And I don't know why this is common, but it is. There's lots of jokes that start this way, at least in English. And I say, knock, knock, and you guys have to say, who's there?
Oh, now I can see that.
All right, so I say knock, knock. You guys say, who's there? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, knock, knock.
Who is there?
Who's there?
Banana. Knock, knock.
Who is there?
Who banana?
Banana. Knock, knock. One more time. One more time. Who's there? Orange, you glad I didn't say banana? Okay, so I'm going to put this in the chat box for you guys and maybe it'll make more sense. So we did the knock knock and I said banana and that happened 2-3 times, right? So first off, banana. Then at the end, I said knock knock. You guys almost said who's there. And I said orange, you glad I didn't say banana. All right. And I'll copy paste this into the chat boxes so you guys can see the written version of what I said. And now I'm going to explain it a little bit because it makes a lot more sense if you understand reduction. So the joke is partially about fruit, right? Because the first I was saying banana, and then in the last one I said orange, right? So you get the fruit part, probably. But the joke here is that Americans, in general, instead of saying, aren't you glad, they squish all of these words together into aren't ya. And so it sounds like orange. Aren't you glad?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad? So I know that it's really not that funny of a joke, but it kind of gets the point across that this joke exists because Americans and most people, but this one is specifically for American pronunciation, squish all of those words together and it sounds totally different than you would normally imagine it to sound. Instead of aren't you, I say aren't ya, aren't ya.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk a little bit more about what reduction is. I'm going to highlight a section and ask someone to read this first section.
Hello?
And
Hello?
Hello again.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Mm-hmm. Adrian or Arena, can you guys hear me? Are you
Yes.
there?
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Then Adrian, go ahead and read the first paragraph.
yes. Reduction is a pronunciation pattern found in all language in which the phonology or sound pattern of a given phrase is changed and simplified. Native speakers don't know even realize they are practicing reduction. In reduction, the content words of phrase are unchanged or minimally changed, while more functional words with less content or meaning are downplayed and made less prominent in the phrase.
Thank you. All right. So the important part about that paragraph, I think, is that native speakers are not aware, and even people who are relatively aware of what they're saying sometimes don't see that they have reduced something. It's happened to me before where I'll say a word, and a student says, "How did you say that?" And I repeat it for them, but I repeat it in a different way, and they say, "No, you said it different the first time." And I'm like, "No, I didn't. I said it the same." But possibly what's going on is that I said it in a casual way the first time, meaning that I reduced certain sounds in the word. And then the second time, when I'm asked to repeat it, then I'm focusing on the word, so I pronounce it in the most appropriate and considered correct way. But it's hard even for native speakers to see. Arena, go ahead and read the next short section here that includes an example.
Okay. For example, you should have studied for the test. Sounds stiff and formal coming from a native speaker in a casual context. What you will hear instead, if you listen for it, is you should have studied for the test. I don't know how to. It probably sounds I don't know. You should have studied for the test.
Mm-hmm.
The grammatical structure words have for and the are reduced. Their vowels are pronounced more neutrally, schwa sound, and there's less time and emphasis placed on them than on the other words in this sentence.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And this last short section is for Daniel to read.
The words containing more of the content of the message, should, studied, and test, are pronounced without change or reduction. If you listen carefully, and this can be difficult to do if you are a native speaker, you will hear reductions in almost all spoken English. For a native speaker, this is natural and not even noticed. For a second language learner, however, this is confusing and can make even the simplest statements incomprehensible.
Thank you very much. Any questions on all that info before we move on and see some more examples?
No, but I think it understand a native speaker in this way is the key for understand English.
Yes, exactly. So this is one reason why book studying can be really difficult, a difficult way to reach fluency, because if you only see the way that words should be pronounced, or like the way they're written, or the formal way of saying them, that still won't really help you understand movies in English, movies meant for native speakers. Okay, so let's talk a little more about the schwa. Did you ever hear a word like the pronounced in two different ways and tried to understand if there was a rule to use it one way or the other? This is a question I've gotten from students frequently. Sometimes a person will say the elephant, and other times they will say the elephant. Have you guys noticed that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. That is an example of this schwa sound, and in a larger context of reduction as well. Because part of reduction is that all vowels, or most vowels in sentences, get reduced to the schwa sound. Now that doesn't count for vowels that don't get it, would be really stressed vowels, but many vowels become that and the is one of a really good example of it. So if I'm not thinking too hard about it, if I'm talking with my sister, I might say, the elephant crossed the road. But if I'm trying to teach a student and it is a very basic lesson, I'm going to emphasize each word and say, the elephant crossed the road. And it sounds pretty different, and it can be confusing. And of course, this is a simple example, but it happens in all words pretty much. We just do it in a different way. So, one more paragraph about schwa. How about Jabo? Can you read the paragraph about schwa here?
Okay. It's pronounced like the U in luck, and any vowel can have this sound. The schwa is the easiest vowel sound to make. You only need to open your mouth a little and make a sound from your throat. It doesn't matter much what shape your mouth is in, and your tongue isn't used at all. Try it. Just open your mouth a little, relax your tongue, and use your voice. Okay? I finished the reading.
Very well, Jabo.
What? Sorry, Daniel? What you
Very
talking
well.
about?
Very good reading.
What? Pardon?
Very good reading.
Oh, thank you very much. You are excellent also.
Yes, Michaela. We can't hear you.
The teacher is Michaela.
Okay.
Michaela.
He's in troubles today. She's in troubles.
Oh, sometime. Later.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hello, teacher.
Don't be shy, teacher.
Oh my gosh, I do not understand why this keeps happening, and I apologize for all of you guys that I keep dropping out. And I don't know why. It's just the audio. Everything else is working perfectly, but my audio just goes out, and I don't understand. But the show must go on. Okay, so we're going to see some examples here, and we have a couple more sentences. So this next short paragraph will be for Trin to read.
Okay. The most common use of schwa is the vowel sound in unstressed syllables, like the last syllable of information is L is pronounced with a schwa sound. This doesn't mean that all vowels in unstressed syllables have the schwa sound, but many do. Also, the only time a stressed syllable uses a schwa sound is when the vowel is used, like in buckle.
Thanks, Trin. And Yassine, will you read the next two paragraphs because they're pretty short?
Yeah. Schwa is usually spoken very quickly and rather softly. It is never held for very long and seldom spoken loudly. the article a, on, and the are usually spoken with a schwa sound. The expression is when one wants to emphasize something. Note, schwa is the difference between can and can't. Is a sentence a simple positive can sound like can. Can. The simple negative can't sound like can't.
Yes, okay. So usually those words are pretty close together, but I cannot reduce can't to a schwa, so I might say something like, I can go to the store. That would sound like I can go to the store. I can go to the store. That A becomes I can go to the store. But if I want to say that I cannot, I would say I can't go to the store. And I am not able to reduce that sound to a schwa. So usually the difference between can and can't is more in the vowel sound than it is with that T, because that T is really light. We barely say it. So when I say can't, I'm saying a T, but it's not a T in the same way that I would pronounce turtle. It's a stop in my throat. So I can't, the same way I might say basket or throat. The word throat itself. When we have T's at the end of words, we usually don't pronounce them fully. We give it a quick stop. So the difference between can and can't can be heard in the vowel instead of so much in the T sound. Questions before we read some more examples? All right. So we have a few words here that they all have the underlined schwa sound, and they're good examples. Oh, what did I just do? Oops. I did a weird computer function that I don't know how to deal with. Okay, so they're good examples of how any letter, any vowel letter anyways, can be turned into the schwa sound. We have petition, celebrate, president, experiment, occur, condition, campus, support, and the ones we used to have in the first box were again and vitamin. Again. There we go. Again and vitamin. So any vowel sound could be turned into a schwa potentially. Okay, so we're going to read this and talk a little bit about which of the sounds become a schwa. I'm going to give it one read over, and then we'll talk about which of these sounds are schwa. Victor believes Vivian is the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world. Bill wishes Victor's views were valid. Vivian? That venomous viper. Victor vows to wed Vivian, even if he's just 17. Will Vivian ever know of Victor's wedding vision? Does she even know Victor's name? All right. So let's do at least one or two sentences of this. And I'd like you guys to try to pronounce it as well. So once we're done identifying exactly where all of these schwa sounds are, I'm going to ask you guys to go through and give it a read, trying to pronounce those schwa sounds instead of what you see as the actual letters and vowel sounds. Okay, so in the first three words, can anyone point out a schwa sound? That
Vivian.
Mm-hmm. So where in the word Vivian do you see the schwa sound, or hear it really?
The A.
Yes. Vivian. Vivian, right? So let's mark that one. We'll mark it with a red letter. It's schwa.
Yeah.
Anything else in these first two words?
Believe.
Believe.
Believe. Yep.
Yeah.
What about Victor? Anything?
Sorry?
Any schwa sounds in this first name, Victor?
No. No, there isn't.
I don't think so.
I think this one is debatable, but I kind of think this O starts to take the sound of a schwa. But again, it's kind of one of those messy sciences. It depends on your ear and depends on who's speaking and depends on a lot of things. But for me, at least, I believe that the O becomes kind of a schwa. Victor, Victor. We definitely don't say Victor. We don't say the O sound, right? It doesn't sound like an O. It sounds like something else, and I kind of think there's a tiny little schwa that gets stuck in there. But you could disagree.
Okay.
All right. What about the next few? Is the most vivacious and wonderful woman.
Most.
The word most?
The O.
The M?
The
So,
O.
schwas- the O, I see. All right. I don't think so. And the reason I don't think that would almost ever be translated into a schwa is because we don't usually use the schwa in vowel sounds that are emphasized. So, if you look at the word Vivian, we have vi, n, right? So these two vowel sounds are a little more pronounced. They're more important. And the same as believes. We have the stress here. The stress is in the second syllable. And because the stress is in the second syllable, the first syllable kind of gets left behind. It gets shortened and it's less important so that E becomes a schwa. But most only has one vowel, so we really can't, it has to have a little bit of emphasis because there's only one syllable in the word, so we have to emphasize it a little.
Okay.
I think most of the time it wouldn't be a schwa.
Okay.
What are...
Vivacious.
Vivacious.
Yeah.
Vivacious. What letter becomes a schwa in vivacious?
Oil, I guess.
The A. No.
I, V.
This first I definitely becomes a schwa. And I think even this part, vivacious. So that kind of becomes a schwa too. The only thing that doesn't is the A, and that's because that's where we get the stress, vivacious. And the other two syllables are treated as less important, and they get downplayed and become schwas. What about this word here? Is there a schwa there?
Yes.
Yes, there is. And even though it only has one vowel sound, so like most, you'd think it wouldn't get the schwa, it's a word, it's a function word. It's not really that important a word in the sentence as a whole. So that probably would become the. All right, let's move on. In the words I'm highlighting now, where do you guys see some schwa sound?
I think there isn't.
There isn't any schwa sound in these highlighted words, and wonderful woman in the...
In the word woman, letter A, woman.
Woman.
So possibly this one, woman, woman.
Yeah, woman.
In this and, it's a function word, so that one kind of gets pushed into a schwa sound as well. I'd say vivacious and wonderful. I almost don't even say it, but it definitely becomes kind of this like tiny little sound. Vivacious and wonderful woman. What about in the word wonderful? Any schwas here?
Yes.
Where?
ER, I think, becomes schwa. And maybe U.
Yeah, I think both of those are possibilities. Definitely not the first O, but the other two possibly. We have wonderful. So definitely the E and maybe the U as well. How about in the world? Any schwas there?
Yes, world. I don't know.
I think that one is debatable. I think it depends on who's talking. I don't pronounce a schwa there, but maybe other people would in the word world, right? We kind of have that. It's
Yeah.
almost right there in that position, world. Not a very beautiful sound that we pepper English with this really guttural, like, sound. But I do think we see it in these because, again, these are function words. So I think even the I and in sometimes becomes a schwa in the world. Now, it doesn't have to. I might not pronounce it if I'm saying it for a class. I might not use it, but I think it can become a schwa at times. And it would sound like the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world. In the world. So in becomes kind of a schwa. All right. Let's try that much. Let's just try and pronounce that. So I want you guys to take a look at all of the red vowels and do your best to pronounce those like the schwa sound. And I'm going to start on the right side this time. Walking with God. Are you there? No? I'm a little
Yes.
Okay. Hello? No. Okay. Uni then. Go first. Pronounce the first line, giving us some good guttural schwa sounds for all of those highlighted vowels.
Okay. Victor believes Vivian is the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world.
Great job. You could practice a little more with the word vivacious. Vivacious. Ignore all the spelling in English and just throw schwas in everywhere possible.
Okay, vivacious.
Yasine, will you go next and try that sentence?
Yeah. Victor believes Vivian in the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world.
Excellent. Again, I say I think vivacious could use some work. I think the other words were pretty good. Your schwa sounded great. But that first I is more like vivacious instead of vivacious. I know it's hard to look at those words and still pronounce them in a different way. Trin, will you go ahead and try this sentence?
Okay. Victor believes Vivian is the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world.
Awesome job. I think you got pretty much all of them into a good schwa sound, but I didn't hear the schwa that much in the and. So you could even change a little more, but you did a great job, Trin. Jabo, will you try that first sentence for us?
Okay. Victor believes Vivian is the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world.
Awesome. Great job. I think and maybe for you as well could get a little more schwa-y, but excellent job. And Arena, try the same sentence.
Okay. Victor believes Vivian is the most vivacious and wonderful woman in the world.
Very nice. Impressive job. I like your schwa sounds.
Thank you.
Okay. Looks like that's it. So now that our class is actually quite much smaller, we have a few sentences on the next page, and we're going to do basically the same thing. I'm going to ask you guys to identify where you think the schwa would go. So I'll assign each of you a sentence. I'm going to say it for you one time and then have you guys think about it a little bit, pronounce it for us, and identify where exactly the schwa sounds go. This one we'll call number 1 will be for Arena. So your sentence is, I can't whistle, but I can snap.
Yes. I can whistle, but I can snap.
So where are the schwa sounds being put?
Okay. Schwa sounds is in word can. Oh, okay. Let's
This
see.
one here?
There, I don't see it. Yes, that one. And in but as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it.
Yes, actually. This one doesn't have that many. And I threw it in so we could again see the difference between
Yeah.
can't and can. Because can't definitely cannot be turned into a schwa. Thank you very much, Arina. And Jabo, will you do number 2? I'm going to go to the store.
I'm going to go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
M.
So where do those schwa sounds come?
I think M. I'm.
I'm here?
Yeah. Yeah, M.
Okay, could be. Yeah, sometimes we say, I'm going to go to the store. Kind of like that. I'm going to go to the store. Where else?
Yeah, going to.
Uh-huh,
I'm
the
going
to
to
definitely
go
becomes
to
a schwa.
The.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Any others?
No.
What about this too?
Yeah, these two.
As well. Maybe you meant
Yeah.
both. And I think there's even one more. I usually say I'm gonna go to the store. So I'm doing a lot of reduction in that sentence, but part of what I'm doing is turning both of those vowel sounds into I'm gonna go.
Oh, gonna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, gonna go to the store. All right. Thank you very much. And number 3 is for Trin.
Okay, I want to have a soda and fries.
Mm-hmm.
The word fries.
Uh-huh. So where does the schwa sound come in some of these words?
Maybe E and
The E of which word?
fries.
Fries? Not quite, because in fries, we have the full vowel sound I, fries. And it's a content word also. So the place we're going to see more reduction and more schwa are the kind of function words like the, to, and, a, things like that. So what are some of those words you see in this sentence?
And, A,
Uh-huh.
in N.
So that's going to be a schwa. This is going to be a schwa. What else? What else becomes a schwa sound? What about the word soda? Soda. Do you hear a schwa sound in the word soda?
I don't think so. I guess.
All right. It kind of depends maybe on the person, but I hear a schwa sound in the last A. So instead of saying soda, which would be kind of a more normal pronunciation for A, we say soda, soda, soda. And I think we also have it in this too.
Cool.
So I wanna have a soda and fries, or possibly I wanna have a soda and fries. If we're gonna say it to casually, maybe to a friend of mine, that's maybe how I would pronounce it. Lots of schwas. All right, number 4, Yasine. It's a short one, but go for it. How would you reduce this with some good schwa sounds?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Yasine, go ahead.
I A.
I and A?
A.
L.
So for number 4, do you see number 4? I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
The E in kill.
Okay. So you think maybe the I in kill?
Yes.
All right. Maybe. I don't usually say, because remember, the schwa sound is so if you turn the I into a schwa sound, it'll be ko. Maybe. I could say maybe, but I think the more prominent schwa sounds are in the other two words. And I know that leaves this tiny little sentence with basically all schwas, but that's how, if I were, say, like the action hero of a movie, I might say, I'll kill him, I'll kill him. So instead of saying I'll kill them, I say I'll kill right? And we turn almost all of those vowels into this throaty sound.
Right. Okay.
All right, just a few more. Number 5 is for uni. Go ahead, uni.
Yes. Don't you want to dance? So, let's see. Might be disappeared about two T sounds. So one, two, wanu. So,
definitely.
Is that also included about the schwa sounds? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think possibly both of those vowels could be schwas, and you're right that usually they kind of get squished together, which is another part of reduction that we're going to talk more about in my next class. The next hour is also going to be about reduction. We're going to get a little more in depth about exactly how far we squish all of them together. But wanna, don't you wanna dance? Don't you wanna dance?
Yes.
All right, are there any other schwa sounds that you can hear in this sentence?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit difficult to discriminate the U sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Usually like just Y and U, but I don't pronounce the O sound. So I'm not sure about that.
This one, I think what you're getting at, this one does usually get pronounced as a schwa in a casual sense. So if I were going to say this sentence to a friend of mine, I'd say, don't ya wanna dance? Don't you wanna dance? And that usually, or very frequently, gets turned into a yeah sound. All right, number 6. Arena, try number 6 out.
Aren't you going to come? Let's see. 2.
Aren't you gonna come?
Aren't you gonna come? 2, Tio. There's reduction, and I think going as well.
Definitely.
Aren't you? Aren't you? Well, maybe aren't.
Which part?
Let's see. A. Do you? I don't know. A. R. Aren't. I'm not sure about that one. Let's see. Maybe just going and 2. Oh. What happened?
Okay.
It's just this.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead, Arena. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, that's all.
You didn't have it. Okay. All right. Then Jabo, will you do number 7 for us?
Okay. You should have given it to me.
You should have given it to me.
Given it to me. Okay. Should have. Should have.
So where does the schwa sound come in?
Have.
This becomes schwa. What else becomes schwa?
Given. V and E.
What else?
Giving it to.
Maybe it. So
Yeah,
was
it
that
is
the
to.
I or the TO? Which part of that?
To me.
Definitely the O. Maybe
Oh.
the I, but I'm not going to highlight that one right now because I think
Yeah.
generally we don't say that. What else? There's a couple in the beginning.
You.
You, right? Like we've talked about, that frequently gets turned into ya. You should have given it to me.
You should have given it to me.
Right. And I think one more in should. You should have given it to me would be how it sounds slow. All right. That was a lot of work. Next class, we're going to be talking about the same stuff, but a little more in depth. So we'll be going over some other ways that we shorten these words and what they actually sound like. And I hope to see you guys there, but if not, thank you all for joining today, and I'll see you around another time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.